The internet is certainly one of the greatest inventions in human history. It has had a profound impact on nearly every aspect of the human life. Education, economy, communication, entertainment, social, and so on, making our generation the fastest paced in human history. I'm grateful to be part of this generation, to have access to the internet, where I can have access to an infinite amount of information in a matter of seconds, though my ancestors had to search for information in libraries, for example. However, I've recently been feeling overwhelmed by the amount of noise that I consume on a daily basis, including music, news, videos, images, messages. It is like my mind feels numb and is slightly disconnected from reality. My focus constantly divided between tasks and my thoughts are disconnected from my current actions. For instance, when we walk, we listen to podcasts. When we are on a meeting, we are sending emails at the same time. When we are with our loved ones, we keep scrolling. We are constantly multitasking, and sometimes we fail to pay attention to people and to the tasks that matter the most. In the last few years, a new wave has risen to bring people back to the present moment. Through a series of mindfulness, meditations, anxiety treatment, digital detox, and other practices. With this in mind, I decided to experiment with single tasking for a few days, in order to bring my mind and my consciousness back to the present moment. Single tasking is the act of focus on a task at a time, without any interruptions or distractions. For my experiment, I decided to try true single tasking for a week. I've made two exceptions, recording this video and speaking to someone else while I'm meeting. But for all other activities, I will be focused on a single task at the time. I measured my attention and focus, the quality of my actions, and the productivity in comparison to my overall trend. Today is the second day of this experiment and I already noticed some interesting changes. Yesterday I woke up and I didn't consume any information on my phone. I felt slightly less productive at work through the day because I was completely focused on my meetings rather than multitasking during them. However, I realized that I've spoken less often to my family and friends, and yeah, of course, this is personal because I am not located, I don't live in the same city as my family and friends. Every time that I've spoken to them in these past few days, I've had meaningful conversations and I was completely present. At the end of the day, surprisingly, I felt more energized and I'm very, very excited about the outcome of this experiment. This is day 3 of the experiment. I still have 2 more days to go. I must confess though that I've been struggling with my phone on the public transport. In my mind, I can optimize this time to respond to inquiries from work, to pay some bills, and to respond to messages from family and friends. I miss watching Friends during lunch. I reached the end of the experiment, and I've been reflecting on what I've learned this week. Let me delve into these lessons. Firstly, let's talk about metrics and my overall experience with productivity, focus, and quality. As expected, my focus on my tasks has improved. However, it's still challenging to avoid multitasking with constant notifications from systems and apps designed to draw your attention to their apps. I would say that my productivity has slightly decreased in the sense that I could have done more things in my day if they were done concurrently. Which brings us to the third point. If I had done those tasks in parallel, their quality would have suffered. Having said that, single tasks has improved the quality of my action. These points align with my expectations. I must admit though that I wasn't expecting at all single tasking to boost creativity. I felt more energetic and in control of my thoughts and my ideas. Moreover, I noticed that I became more open to interacting with people. Not wearing AirPods made me more approachable to conversations in public space like streets and public transport. I also observed phases of the digital detox. During the first and second days, I felt something was missing. My natural behavior was to check my phone for messages and updates every once in a while. However, I managed to reduce my phone picks up by 56% in comparison to my last week's average by physically distancing my phone from me. That is something that I definitely want to incorporate in my routine. To sum up, I believe that the real challenge here is to find the perfect balance between single and multitasking, which may vary from person to person. It's okay to have lunch while watching Friends, but sometimes we just need to relax and properly enjoy the meal. Actually, at some degree, I think my relationship with food changed. It tasted better and I felt more present. Overall, I feel way less overwhelmed, and I realized that sometimes we need to live as we did before the smartphone era in order to find our inner peace.